So we're introducing our ducklings to the duck castle. So in here they have 2 waters and food. Brian's gonna dip their little beaks, each one. Gotta dip their beaks, babe. So that they are excited to wear their waters. Do you need to step inside and empty them from that side?
See it, how it goes. Much better than the bathtub, huh, baby? I'm gonna get them all unloaded because they're stressed.
All right, friends, so we have moved just the ducklings down to the duck and chicken castle. So we didn't really feel good about moving the chicks just yet because we feel like they might be half a week to a week younger than the ducks. So we have decided to keep the chicks upstairs. I'll show you a little of where they're living next, but I wanted to show you, like, these guys are in, I would say hog heaven, but maybe it's duckling heaven. They love to play in the straw. They're having a good time. They have gone inside. So this little hole in here has 2 of the stand heaters. They have a 0 clearance safety rating, so it's not like a heat lamp, which will catch on fire. So we're able to use straw with them. And we tested these heaters upstairs. They have been on shavings and straw for the past week, where we kept a really close eye on them. And then we moved them down here to make sure that they're all still, like, safe and they're not going to burn anything up. So I think that was our main concern about having straw, was that it could be a fire hazard. And we started off when we first got the ducklings with heat lamps, and it was just like, was so unsafe, and we were so worried about heat lamps with straw that we were like, nope, that's not going to fly. Let's get those out of here. So we bought 4 of these, I don't know what they are. They're like a radiant heater or something like that. So they're just like a flat stand heater. And so you can use them as a brooder. So they're like horizontal, or you can have them stand up. The ducks, we put them as a brooder for the ducks, and they wouldn't go near it. And we waited and waited thinking they would go near it. We stuck them under it, gave them a chance. They hated it. So we turned it as a stand heater. So it just stood on its side, and bam. They like nestled up against it and loved it. So we have them offset. This is actually fairly large in here. So what we did is we have hay bales going across in almost like a U pattern here. And then we stacked them on top just to make a nice covering so the heat wasn't escaping. Because the ceilings are normal garage height ceilings, pretty high. So they have one little entrance here. And it's nice and insulated. These straw bales are great at insulating. So I think one of the best parts about this is that once the chickens are ready to come down, they'll have 4 heaters. Right now they have 2 that are offset here and here. So this whole like length is about, I don't know, in the space of 1.5 hay bales, they have 2 heaters that are offset. So they're going to be nice and toasty in there. And for right now, they're just still playing and checking out their pen, but they went from the size of a bathtub to literally a castle. So we love this. We think it's pretty cool how, like, we've been able to create just like a nice space for them. And we've been keeping an eye on them just to make sure they're not like fluffing up too much or all like super huddled together. I know they're together right now, but it's because I'm literally, there's my feet. I'm standing in their area and they're like, what is this crazy duck lady doing in here? But they love their new water. We got them this huge 5-gallon water. We had been using the smaller waters And when I'm not in here, they'll drink out of this one too. But they go through at least 2 of those a day. And so the idea that we can now have them in here with one big one and one little one, we don't have to panic that, you know, they're going to knock something over or they're going to play in it. They love to play in their water, and then they have nothing left to drink. So we were waking up in the morning, and about 9, between 8:30 and 9, we would put a full one of these in there, and we'd come out in the morning, and, you know, in less than 12 hours, they were empty of water. So where we're at now, I think this is going to be a lot better for them. We won't have to stress about, like, you know, making sure it's the last thing we do at night and the first thing in the morning, like panicking that they're going to dehydrate or something. I mean, they're doing awesome. They eat a ton of food. I had no idea how much food they would go through, but they're chow hounds and they're growing so much. They probably at least doubled in size. And we've only had them for, this is our 8th day of having them. We got them Wednesday last week, so yeah, so about 8 days we've had them. They still have no feathers coming in that we can tell, just maybe a little bit on their booties. But other than that, they're just fluffy little bugs. They're so cute. So I'm going to get out of their way so they can enjoy. But that's it, yeah, just super deep litter. Like, we put a lot of straw down. It's probably 8 to 10 inches thick. And then there's some piles in the sides. That's where they're hanging out, is in the piles, and they're just like smushing it all down, which is fine. But I'm going to let you guys see what we're going to do with the chickens in the meantime now, so that you have an idea of what we think we needed to hold off on bringing them down here. So we're going to translate their little tote life into tub life. So they're going to graduate to the next stage, but they're not quite ready for the castle yet. Okay, so thank God that we have such a huge bathroom. But just so you can get an idea, these ducks stink so bad. I do not recommend you ever have them in your home. Every single night we come in here and we completely clean out this whole tub so it's completely clean. Then we would rinse it out really good, and then we would fill it with straw. So that's great. And we put them back in. That way they'd have clean bedding for the nighttime, and they would huddle up against this heater. We talked about the heaters. These are what are inside the brooders. This, like inside their castle. The difference is with this is that the heater is standing vertically. You can also flip it horizontally. So downstairs in the castle, they're horizontal, so you can fit more ducks against it. We absolutely love that these are so safe and they work so well. But I just want to show you the difference. Like, I don't think anybody tells you the truth about how freaking disgusting these cute little ducklings are. Look at it, it's so disgusting. And that was spotless last night, and it's not even like time for us to clean it again. Like, I mean, it's time to clean it, but like we clean it every single night. And then here's the chicks. Now look at how clean these sweet little chickens are by comparison. They do get some shavings in their water, which we constantly are like getting out for them and dealing with that. But in general, they're so clean and so easy. Look at this little girl. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's a boy or girl, but there's a certain breed of chicken that has no feathers on their neck. And these are like a group of 10 rare heritage breed chickens. So I have no normal little cute yellow chicks. These are all like interesting and colorful. I have no idea what they're going to look like when they grow up or what each one is, and I won't know until they're probably a little bit older. But that one in particular is very happy, very healthy, and just doesn't have the hair or the feather on its neck. So that's just like some weird breed. But nobody's picking on it. It's doing okay. So these particular water things work really well for chickens, much better for chickens than ducks. It's like not enough for the ducks. And then we use these smaller feeders for the chicks, and they get 2 of these a day. So their water gets cleaned out once a day, and then their food they get 2 full of these a day. So we put one in the morning and swap them out again at night. So they are always full and happy. And then they do really love this vertical heater. But again, like we said, when we first got them, we got the ducks and the chickens at the same time. And the ducks were down in the garage with just heat lamps, and they were fine. They didn't care. They seemed to have no issue with the temperature. A heat lamp seemed to be enough for them. They were running around and playing and drinking, and these chickens were fluffed up and like not drinking, not eating anywhere near what we thought they should be. So we moved them upstairs because we were afraid the temperature wasn't working for them. So these guys have a brooder that we're using in the stand-up heater position, and then we also have a space heater in this bathroom that keeps it at 85. Every couple of days I just drop it 2 degrees. They say like each week they can go down 5 degrees, but instead of just going down all at once, I just take them down a couple degrees. Every few days they go down a couple degrees, and it's much more gradual for them. So because I think these sweet little babies are a little bit more finicky when it comes to temperature, I'm not putting them out yet. They're gonna get a few more days up here, so this will all be spotlessly cleaned out, and I'll probably send you, get a clip for you guys that has just what it looks like when the chicks are gonna be in here for the next week, because it is amazing how gross and dirty the ducks are and how super clean the chickens are. Like, amazingly different. I really had no idea the difference in size or how fast they would grow or like anything, because I had not researched ducks. They were not on my agenda of things to own, but we bought a ranch that has a farm. That has a pond, so we needed to have something that went swimming in the water, according to Brian. So we now have ducks, and that's that. Good morning. Okay, so it is early in the morning. We got a call about 8 a.m. and from the U.S. Postal Service that our babies have arrived. So of course we're stoked, and we had to run downstairs and get everything set up. So I just want to flip the camera and give you guys a view, how everybody's doing in here. They've got their brooder heaters, they've got their feeders, everybody's like super snuggly happy. The chickens tend to walk around the rim. There's no stopping them at this point, but we put a bale of hay on the outside of the pen, and if they get out, they just hop right back in. So figure, they know where they live. Bunny girls are all still sleeping this morning. They're pretty cute. We certainly do love these ones. And then over here is Bennett's crayon box. So this is a very large box. It's like a, what the heck is that thing? It's a miter saw box. So this box, we saved it to put Bennett in. So we literally put our toddler in this box with color crayons, and he would like lay in here and color and have a great time, and he'd be slightly contained while we would do whatever we were doing, but he could be right next to us. So he loves his color box. So today Bennett donated his color box to our new chicks that are coming. So there's a couple things you guys should see. So one, we've had a space heater in this room the whole time. Right now it says it's 58 degrees in here. It's probably a little bit warmer than that. Not much, maybe a degree or two different. But we have both of these brooder heaters in here. So these can be laid flat as a brooder and they can go underneath it. But the way that we have done it, they're stood up like heaters, because when we tried to get them to go under a brooder before, they were like, oh hell no, that ain't happening. So we decided to put 2 heaters facing each other and then the space heater above them, just to make sure this little tiny corner stays super warm. Now, one of the things we learned in the last batch was that the chickens like these little stand-up feeders. The ducks hated it, but the chickens like it. So that's for chickens. And then this water, instead of putting it just directly onto the shavings, we put it on one of those cheap like $1 pavers from Lowe's or Home Depot. Those little square ones, the 12 by 12s. And they can totally reach it. They can hop up there. It doesn't affect them getting into the water, but it definitely affects how much shavings end up in the water. So if they had already packed these shavings down and walked around a little bit, I could put the water down. It wouldn't be as big of a deal. But for now, we want to make sure that they have access to clean water. We did put a healthy probiotic electrolyte mix into the water, because when they first get here, they have not had anything since Tuesday. Actually, I think it was Monday night. Monday night is when they were packaged up. So we are very, very blessed. We prayed about it because we were worried that these chickens weren't going to come. Just so you all know, today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Saturday is Christmas. So the post office is going to be closed, and we would not have been able to get them And they said they weren't coming till Monday. Now, anybody that's ever ordered chicks knows if you pack your chickens up, they have about 3 days. Maybe they can survive 4 days. At the most, like 5 days. But there's no way, without food or water, that those little birds were going to make it here if they had to make it till Monday. Because they would have left... Monday night is when they were, packed up. Tuesday, I know they were, traveling. So, let's see here. That would have been born Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It would have been a full 7 to 8 days that they would have survived with no water. That's not real. They would have died. So I'm really, really glad that they arrived today when the post office is open. So that's what we're going to do. Everybody here is content and happy. They still have their heaters in there going, and they're not really using them much anymore. So I think their feathers have come in enough that they're not, they're snuggling for this morning, but they're not really reliant on the heaters the way they were just even a couple weeks ago. So we're going to go pick up our new babies and we will share the journey with you. Babe, what are you doing?
Getting in the car.
What were you doing? What couldn't you wait to do?
Had to give him some frozen pumpkin.
Hello, sir. Do you want to tell me what colors we have?
This little yellow one is the friendliest, bravest one.
I saw a little black one poke its head out.
Black, brown, yellow. Still haven't found a turkey.
I'm a little concerned that we can't find a turkey. It should be the very large white one in there somewhere. I guess it won't be white to start off with. They're more yellow? I don't know. No idea what turkey poults look like.
Something in the back maybe didn't make it.
Oh no. You want to get out of the car?
Uh-oh. Put our
Put our
address
chickens in
on.
their new house? Do you think they're going to drink water? Do you know what Daddy said to Mommy? He said, have you ever been so thirsty that you just can't even see straight? You're so thirsty, you can't think about anything else besides, I need a drink, I need a drink. You ever say, I need a drink, Bennett? Yeah? And I was like, yeah, babe, I've been really thirsty. And he's like, right, that's how our chickens feel. Hurry up and get in the car, we gotta go get them. So, out of our 19 chickens and 1 turkey, I actually never saw a turkey, so maybe we'll figure that out tomorrow, but they all look like chicks to me. And 2 of them were dead upon arrival, so we're down to 18 of possibly chickens and a turkey. Now, of the ones that are left, 4 or 5 of them didn't look too good. We made sure that we dipped everybody's beak in water and got them up against brooders. We actually put an additional brooder in there, so they have 3 heaters now. And then we closed the edge of the box. I'm going to turn this around. I closed the box up and added an additional heater. And they're nice and quiet. They're not too chirpy right now. But they are really small. Like smaller than our last batch of chickens by far. And I'm wondering, our last batch of chickens were sent out on a Monday. So I'm wondering, because they only ship Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I thought, oh, maybe they were born on a Thursday, so they were a little older or something. I don't know. But these babies in here, like when they walk, they kind of wobble. Like they don't even seem steady on their feet yet. And I don't know, it was sad to see the 2 dead ones. And then we've got a pile that are just kind of snuggling and staying warm. I did use like a baby syringe, infant's Tylenol, courtesy of Bennett again. So used that to put a little bit of water in the ones that just didn't look like they were going to make it. And they all drink. So everybody has had a drink. And now we're just waiting to see who's going to make it. Very much a struggle, not fun to watch, but it's part of farming. And I think, in the future, I don't think we will order live birds. I think we'll go the incubator route. I think everybody has different plans for different things, but I think we wanted to make sure that we had meat birds on the property and laying hens on the property as soon as possible. So we went with live birds to start with, but our future orders will likely be incubated here. That way we don't have to put our birds through the stress of travel. So this was a one-time deal. Again, it came in 2 very far apart shipments, so we're going through the whole babyhood twice, but this really was intended to be a one-time deal. So it was 19 degrees when we left to pick them up, 19 degrees outside, and it's now 61 degrees inside, and in their box with these 3 brooder heaters, it's super toasty. Like if I put my hand down there, it's hot. Like it's hot down there, so I think they're gonna be okay. We're just gonna take turns watching him. I already had to pull one out of the water. He just like laid in it, and I'm like, you're gonna freeze. I didn't put cold water in there. I put like warm water in with their probiotics and electrolytes. So just to keep their body temperature up, because that's a huge thing. When it's this cold out and they've been cold for that long, sometimes it just takes a few minutes for them to revive, and with this much heat in this box, they're gonna be fine. We just have to wait and see. Some of the ones that maybe wouldn't have made it anyway might not make it still, but that could be because they just burned all their energy trying to stay warm on the way here. So we will keep you posted and let you know. Hopefully we have 18 survivors. We're not sure.
I think someone got used there.
Babe, what kind of feeder is that blue thing that you got?
That's some chewy.
Chewy
Calls
duck.
it a rocket. A spaceship.
Bennett calls it a rocket and a spaceship. I don't know what it's called either, but it has really big holes at the base so the ducks can stick their whole head in there. And they seem to really love it. We also have the big, huge metal feeder. It's hanging from a 2x4, so it keeps it off the ground. And then we have like the little red ones from when they were babies. But I think the blue one is the winner. What do you think?
I think that's their favorite for sure. I think their treats are the favorite.
And I know you have soldier fly larvae. Well, what's the other one?
Soldier fly maggot ticket.
Are you kidding me? That's disgusting.
Larva, I think they call it.
Well, that's what you said, soldier fly larva, but you have 2 different kinds, right?
Yeah.
What's the other kind?
One's more maggoty, but I don't know what they call it.
Grubblies.
Soldier fly,
They're both the same thing.
they're different.
We'll have to look at it. I don't know.